Good morning, everybody. In New South Wales overnight, we had 23 cases of community transmission. At this stage, 21 have been confirmed that are linked directly to the Avalon cluster. 2 are under investigation, although we suspect they're all linked to the Avalon cluster, and there were 7 in hotel quarantine. I want to thank the people of the Northern Beaches for coming forward and get tested, and I also want to thank them for the way in which they've restricted their activities, stayed at home unless they absolutely need to. However, as we foreshadow that the number of cases we've received till 8 o'clock yesterday, and I want to stress also that that 23 number includes the 10 that were reported earlier in the day yesterday. So that is inclusive of the 10 that were reported at 11 o'clock yesterday. So until 8 p.m. last night, there were 23 cases in the 24 hours previous to that, based on community transmission. And based on the likelihood that we're going to expect to see a repeat of those numbers across this 24 hours, given what we know from the testing and given what we know from the likely number of cases, we are going to put in health orders for the Northern Beaches from 5 o'clock today to essentially go back to the restrictions people experienced in March in relation to only leaving your home if it's for essential purposes, such as for work, for compassionate grounds, for exercise, or to go shopping. So we're going to put that health order in place until midnight on Wednesday, and that is to give all of us a chance to have a better Christmas than what would otherwise occur. So I want to thank the people of the Northern Beaches for their patience, but I also want to stress to them that from 5 o'clock today until midnight on Wednesday, they'll be asked to stay at home unless for the 4 essential reasons. Essentially, we'll be going back to the restrictions that were in place back in March, just for the Northern Beaches, for the local government area of the Northern Beaches. But we do want to stress that it's okay to go out and exercise, it's okay to go out and do essential shopping, so don't panic buy. Please, you can go shopping anytime. It's okay to go out and do work. It's okay to go out for compassionate grounds, including emergency medical treatment or anything else, or to visit an isolated relative, etc. So please know that those 4 basic reasons we had back in March, when we asked people to follow those restrictions, will apply to the Northern Beaches community only from 5 o'clock today until midnight on Wednesday, and we're hoping that will give us sufficient time to get on top of the virus so that we can then ease up for Christmas and the New Year moving forward. For the rest of Sydney, can I please ask everybody to abandon non-essential activity until that time? We don't want the virus to spread outside of the Northern Beaches. We don't want perhaps unidentified strains of the virus outside of Sydney, outside of the Northern Beaches, to start getting to an extent which concerns us. So can I say to everybody in other parts of Sydney outside the Northern Beaches, please limit your activity. We're asking you to do this on good faith. We're asking you not to undertake essential travel, non-essential travel. We're asking you not to undertake non-essential activity. So if you were planning a night out tonight, we ask you to consider changing those plans and staying at home. We want people essentially to stay at home tonight and the next few nights so that we can ensure the virus doesn't spread if there are any fragments of the virus outside of the Northern Beaches. And we also want to make sure that we give all of Sydney the best chance we have to having a good Christmas. Now, if we find, I should say, to put everybody on notice, we will be considering today, after consulting obviously the relevant people, whether this time tomorrow we do revert back to some restrictions in Greater Sydney, but we are still considering that. I just want to put everybody on notice that that is a possibility, and that will depend on what the health advice says to us during the course of the day as events are evolving. Can I also stress our deepest gratitude to the hotel industry? The Hotel Association voluntarily has asked all of its hotels in the Northern Beaches to close for the next few days, and they've all done that voluntarily, and I want to thank the industry for that proactive move. They've been working with us closely, and it's wonderful to see them come forward and make that offer and suggestion to us in a bid to get this virus under control, because all of us know if we work hard together over the next few days, we have a better chance of making sure we don't limit activity moving forward. I also want to thank places of worship and churches in particular who've contacted the government to also proactively say that they've reverted to virtual activity over the next few days in the Northern Beaches community. So thank you to those organisations, businesses and community groups who've already come forward to make that point.